Soul Badguy has consistently been one of the strongest performing characters in Guilty Gear Strive ever since the game's launch. And while he hasn't really been like the number 1 or 2 character in quite some time, he's still been a formidable threat. So did Arc System Works feel the need to nerf a character that got into the top 6 of EVO, or do they want to give him a couple bit of love and change his overall playstyle? The answer is a little bit of both, I think. Let's get started over with the Season 3 changes to Soul Badguy. So, going down his list, just pretty much in order of the patch notes themselves, his crouching kick is now faster on startup. This is like a 5-frame normal right now, which is honestly pretty fantastic. It helps his overall pressure, right? So here we see that I'm able to get like a counter hit there in that situation. This is the old patch of the game. And we still get it here. So a little hard to demonstrate, but it does mean that his low pressure is overall a little tighter, and there might be some normals that he could lose to before in certain situations that he no longer loses to now. Don't really have that example right here, but still, a faster normal is a faster normal, and that's always a very good thing for a character to receive. Next up on his changes is the far standing slash. This is a very important change, actually. So they've changed the animation on hit, and they reduced the horizontal blowback distance. So if we look at the old version of Guilty Gear Strive here on my PlayStation 4, we're going to make Axel Low get hit by a sequence where they stand, they're not guarding right. So, you know, if you got a hit like this, you autopiloted your pressure, you would kind of lose things. Or if you hit like a stray far slash against a backdash or an airborne opponent, you really didn't have much to do as far as a combo and follow-up goes. But now, if we do get this hit in the current version of Guilty Gear Strive, you can see that he stays far closer to me before, and he kind of has this tumble animation as well. And it's far simpler, really, to get some follow-ups in. This plays nicely with his, it doesn't really play nicely, excuse me, with Wild Assault Mechanic, or his Bandit Bringer. But it does mean that you can link to Heavy Slash off of this, and that's really great for his combo game. Because then you get a fully charged Wild Assaults here, and from there you can just do all kinds of things, do kind of crazy corner carry stuff. So you did not get this before. So now all of a sudden, Heavy Slash becomes a great combo tool because now you can combo it into his far slash. So now if you want like a wall bounce situation with him, you can go for the Heavy Slash like you did before. If you want a more mid-screen friendly route with Soul Badguy, then you're able to go into 2 Heavy Slash anywhere on screen. That's a big change for his combo routing. It means he has better just mid-screen combo routes, and he's able to do more damage through that one. While they are taking down some of the scaling on him, right, like his Bandit Revolver has reduced damage scaling to it as like one example. He's just getting better combo routes overall, and that's sort of a theme of this season, is that they've improved combo routing, and to make sure that we're not TODing from everything, they've reduced some damage on some starter hits as well. His 6 Heavy Slash does increase wall break damage, so you can just break the wall faster with him, I guess. That's, like, neat. Volcanic Viper, they delayed the invincibility frames on it, so it is no longer, like, a frame 1 or reversal. So Axel Low is going to come up right. He's going to do this, pressure. And I am inputting DP, the heavy DP right here. You see I get reversal, I'm getting hit out of it. This is a nerf that is applied to Soul, Kai, and Leo. This is, I think, namely targeted to Leo, but it's just sort of balancing things around. They want these heavy DPs to be more of a combo tool rather than a reversal that is incredibly rewarding on hit. Because you got to remember, right, if I hit this in a block string, I get my hard knockdown situation off of it, right? So they don't really want these reversals to be so rewarding. Instead, they're kind of shifting their balance to be more of a combo tool. Bandit Revolver has a couple different things. So they remove the counter hit effect on it. So if I make, right, so we see that there's no counter hit slowdown anymore. So that means that Soul doesn't really get like great conversions off of this anymore. This is a big nerf. But it sort of just forces Soul Badguy to play around just with different tools. Right? So you see, you know, just You don't get that all of a sudden, right? I got like a full standing combo, whatnot. Now I don't get that anymore. This is sort of changing like a couple like Rekka or special move follow-ups kind of unilaterally across the cast. And honestly, this is just sort of making sure that if you're Soul Badguy, you're not really trying to play like a Bandit Revolver RPS that is massively rewarding for you. So they're kind of trying to shift Soul Badguy's playstyle away from it. There still has several other strengths to it. One of the changes that they made to it as well, though, is that they've increased the lower hitbox and hurtbox of it. So if I make, in the old version of the game, if I make Axel low, crouch guard this, you can see that, you know, he can pretty consistently low crush this with a 2K. Right? If I jump to the new version of the game, and if I remember to do my settings correctly, you can see that I'm able to actually counter hit him out of this. It is still possible to get that interaction, though, if I wait a little too long and let him get low enough. But now you should be able to avoid that situation with correct timing. So, if you allow Axel low or some other characters to low crush this by pressing their 2K, it's your own damn fault. Get your timing down. So that is something that's a little bit nice. It just means that there is a bit of consistency to that one. Now they have to delay their mash a little bit more, and that can change the situation a bit. But again, this isn't as rewarding to go for because of the removal of the counter hit effect. So just do keep that one in mind. Another change to him is his Bandit Bringer aerial version, where if you charge it, it increases the attack potency. Well, what the hell does that mean? Well, let's demonstrate it here. If I go to the old version, and I do a combo route, that's just like the old version there. I'm trying to figure out a good way to route into this. I'm trying to get this to combo in, but my brain is not functioning on it right now. Maybe if I just demonstrate the change here, or maybe it might be more possible here, right? You see here that I actually get this ground bounce that happens. Apologize for that delay. I had to remember a good route to go into. You get a ground bounce off of a fully charged Air Bandit Bringer, and that means that you're able to route some of your aerial conversions back into a grounded sequence to set up like another clean hit heavy DP or a Fafnir or all kinds of things. It's a really cool change, I think. And again, one of those themes, right? They're taking out some damage, but they're giving better combo routes overall. There are some other nerfs to him as well. His damage on Wild Throw has been reduced. So before, well, currently it does 107 damage on a fully healthy Axel. But if I come down here to display settings and I turn on the damage info, right? It used to do 129, so it's like a 20 damage nerf overall. That's a fairly substantial nerf, but again, they're trying to reduce damage and give more sort of interactions, as it were. It is still a stronger throw than his base throw, right, in terms of damage. You know, 86, you know, it's like a 20 damage increase over that one, right? And it's still got iframe, so it's still worth it to do a Wild Throw. It's just not as rewarding anymore. Additionally, they increased the base combo damage on Night Raid Vortex, which, it's fine, you know. So we got up to, like, 80 damage there, right, with Close Slash. Whereas, you know, before, if we got hit like that, and let me make sure that I test this correctly with the forced counter hit. Because I can't remember if that adds damage or not. Yeah, so 83 damage and 80 damage, right? So you can already see, like, from the second hit that there's a little bit more of a damage scaling that is happening to that move. They've also did the same thing to his Fafnir, where they increased the base damage scaling And they also reduce the height after a ground hit. So, like, if I am sold here, I can get a, you know, even off a counter hit like this. Well, no, off of a counter hit, we're fine, we're jiving, we're cooking. Took me a moment to get it right, but if without that counter hit, you're not gonna get a Raid Knight Vortex follow-up. So Soul kind of has to, if he hits a Fafnir like this, he's gonna have to RC it, which is fine. It costs a resource, but you can still get combo routes. It just has to work a little bit differently now. Whereas, you know, before, just again, I always like to demonstrate this just so maybe y'all can appreciate and see it. You know, it was pretty easy to get that Night Raid Vortex follow-up, right? But in return, they did buff it as well. They buffed the range on it, right? So if I do, you know, it took me 3 normal Fafnirs, no Kara Fafnirs, right? In order to close the gap from full screen. So not really a great neutral tool by any means. But now, right, if I do it in the current version of Strive, we hit him in only 2 Fafnirs. That's a pretty big difference. And of course, you have to imagine if you're able to Kara this, that it goes even farther, right? Okay, so if we do a normal version, we kind of punch the pot. But now we go quite past the pot, right? So massive, massive. It's almost like a jump scare with how quick this one goes. You have to consider, too, that this is going to be another tool that's going to help you stay on the opponent when they're using Deflect Shield as well, right? So that's a very cool change for Soul Badguy overall. And then they reduce the damage of his Tyrant Rave. That's just in line with everything else. And that's pretty much it for Soul Badguy. I think his offense is going to be better. He really likes Wild Assault as well. And he's got a very fun, cool combo version for that one where you can effectively do something like this. I mean, like, coast-to-coast combo like that, that's kind of sick. I'm not going to lie to you, friends. So, Soul Badguy, he's still strong. He's strong in different ways. You're going to have to play with the system mechanics with him. I hope that you guys like him in this patch, because I think I'm going to.